if you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills where the landslide will bring it down, and if you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills, well, the landslide will bring it down. Oh, the landslide will bring it down.
I can hear the neighbors, they're arguing again. And there hasn't been peace on our street since who knows when. I don't mean to listen in, but the shouting is so loud. I turn up the radio to drown it out, and silently I say a little prayer. But for the grace of God, go I must have been born a lucky guy. Heaven only knows how I've been blessed with the gift of your love. And I look around and all I see is your happiness embracing me. Oh Lord, I'd be lost but for the grace of God. I can see that old man, he's walking past our door, and I've been told that he's rich, but he seems so poor. 'Cause no one comes to call on him, and his phone, it never rings. He wanders through his empty home, surrounded by his things. Silently I say a little prayer, yes I do. But for the grace of God, go I must have been born a lucky guy. Heaven only knows how I've been blessed with the gift of your love. And I look around and all I see is your happiness embracing me. Oh Lord, I'd be lost but for the grace of God. Oh, I look around and all I see is your happiness embracing me. Oh Lord, I'd be lost but for the grace of God. Oh Lord, I'd be lost but for the grace of God. Yeah. I can hear the neighbors, they're arguing again. And there hasn't been peace on our street since who knows when. I don't mean to listen in, but the shouting is so loud. turn up the radio to drown it out. And silently I say a little prayer. But for the grace of God, go I must have been born a lucky guy. Heaven only knows how I've been blessed with the gift of your love. And I look around and all I see is your happiness embracing me. Oh Lord, I'd be lost but for the grace of God. I can see that old man, he's walking past our door. And I've been told that he's rich, but he seems so poor. 'Cause no one comes to call on him, and his phone, it never rings. He wanders through his empty home, surrounded by his things. Silently I say a little prayer, yes I do. But for the grace of God, go I must have been born a lucky guy. Heaven only knows how I've been blessed with the gift of your love. And I look around and all I see is your happiness embracing me. Oh Lord, I'd be lost but for the grace of God. Oh, I look around and all I see is your happiness embracing me. Oh Lord, I'd be lost but for the grace of God. Oh Lord, I'd be lost but for the grace of God. Yeah.
Well, good afternoon. Welcome. We are so honored to have you here today as we celebrate and remember the life of Dave McCarthy. And so on behalf of Pam, of Dave's family and friends, we want to welcome you and thank you for coming to show your love and support and to help us remember a man who lived an amazing life. Dave made such a huge impact on those he loved, and we are all so honored that you would come today to celebrate his well-lived life and to grieve together as we say goodbye to this incredible man. Dave McCarthy, age 58, passed away September 10th, 2025, surrounded by people who loved him. Dave was known for his larger-than-life personality and heart of gold. He left behind laughter, love, and countless stories that will be shared for years to come. He could build anything, he could fix everything, and he usually knew what you needed before you did. Whether it was clearing driveways after the snow, lending a hand without hesitation, or finding the best deal around, he was always there, generous, capable, and ready to help. He is survived by his wife, Pamela McCarthy, his mother, Carol McCarthy, brother Patrick McCarthy and Diane, niece Shelby Boozma, and many framily, which is a word I learned from Pam. Framily, you know if you're family with Pam, and friends. Dave was preceded in death by his father, Joseph McCarthy, and sister Peggy Cornelius. His memory will live on in the hearts of those who knew him.
Ephesians 4, verses 2 and 3. Be completely humble and gentle. Be patient, bearing with one another in love. Make every effort to keep the unity of the Spirit through the bond of peace. These words describe the very qualities Dave carried: humility, patience, gentleness, and deep desire for unity. Dave's presence brought peace and togetherness wherever he went. And a little off script, I'm a man of faith. I know I'm not perfect. Committed sins, probably a few of them with Dave. And I should be better at WWJD, what would Jesus do? I'm also an engineer and extreme home remodeler. But when I got to the point where I couldn't figure it out, there was literally only one person I would call. I only had to message Dave, WWDD, what would Dave do? And he'd be there for me with the advice I needed, expecting nothing in return, just there to selflessly provide his time, talent, and friendship. Thank you, brother.
I'm reading from the book of Psalm 131:1. How good and pleasant it is when God's people live together in unity. This verse reminds us of the joy and blessing that comes when someone brings harmony among others. Dave lived this truth by drawing family, friends, and the community together in ways that created peace and belonging. Love you, Mac. Miss you. And we appreciate everything you brought to us.
Myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be. Let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. For though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, there will be an answer. Let it be. 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 There will be an answer. Let it be. And when the night is cloudy, there is still a light that shines on me. Shine until tomorrow, let it be. I wake up to the sound of music. Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom. Let it be. 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 There will be an answer. Let it be. 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 There will be an answer. Let it be.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. I'm Pat, David's brother. If I can make it through this, it would be good. It's just 2 pages. Well, as David and I grew up in southern Minnesota, our childhood was filled with adventures leading us wherever they took us. We lived by Amaret. One memory is that it had snowed for quite a long time. It was time to go outside and do some things. So we had a chicken coop. We had a low side here and a higher side this way. So as it had snowed and we didn't have to get a ladder or anything, we could actually walk up there. And then we went to the other side and literally jumped off into the snow for hours. It was fun. Another memory is riding bikes with friends to Lake Chautauqua, going camping at our Boy Scout troop campground. We used to do that quite often, or ride bikes to Walnut Grove on the banks of Plum Creek, where there used to be a man-made reservoir. We'd go swimming. And also our brotherly fights we used to get into. Seemed like once a week we were at it, but we learned from our disputes on that. So David also would come up with this idea that we could go down to the local junkyard in Tracy and cut off the front forks from a bicycle and bring them home and turn our bicycle into a chopper. But until it was actually safe and secure with a weld on the other forks that you put on there, you could probably biff it. So anyways, another good memory. So by now, David was already tinkering skills and would be set in motion now. If he thought about it, he could make it, build it, fix it, and then sell it. Most of us that knew David would wonder why he had so many cars, motorcycles, pickups, snowmobiles, etc. Well, I guess he was already flipping those things way back then. As time moves forward, we both start our new families. We would still venture out to do things with family, birthdays, on holidays, anniversaries, reunions. Excuse me. In 1996, David would meet his niece Shelby, born to Diane and I, and David would also meet his grandnieces, Weslyn and Hannah, and Shelby's husband, Cardell. In 2012, David and I had the honor of walking our little sister, Peggy, down the aisle. Sorry. To give to Phil in marriage. That was a fun day. Those of you knew that David rode motorcycles. We rode, and yes, David and I both rode our motorcycles on Phil and Peggy's wedding after the reception. That was a fun day, Phil. The one and only time he comes deer hunting with me in Lake Benton, he brings a friend, Mark. And anyways, of course, it was freezing rain happening outside. And that would be the last time with David that he would come hunting. He did not like walking. He did not like the cold weather and such. And the reason I say that is that Mark Olson has, as a friend, David brought. That's how I was able to meet a bunch of you folks here today. So appreciate that. And another thing was like meeting you folks was a lot, was with David. He would host a little get together or invite me to tag along on trips he had planned. Thank you, David, for that. It was incredible, fun, and we'll continue to do this in honor of you. I will miss our talks, phone calls about talking about what we have discussed on repairs, on machines, and how the weekly things are taking place. Or a text, hey, do you need this from Marketplace? It seems like he would be calling or texting, hey, you may need this. Do you think you need this, or does somebody you know need this? So. We will miss you. We'll miss your little one-liners that you would say to any one of us. A few, later, boss, squeeze you later, hey, ding-a-ling. So, just a few. Your experiences on all obstacles you've encountered in your life and turned them into helpful information for your peeps to fix with your help or on their own. There's a lot we're going to miss about you, David. Our lives are going to be a lot different without you in it. Almost done. Thank you. I thank God that I had a brother like you for 58 years with all the memories, all the ups and downs, everything we were able to do together. I would not change anything. I wish we could have had more time together here on earth, but that's not the plan God has for us. Rest in peace, brother. I love you. Thank you for the time we've shared as brothers. There will never be another Mac. Keep us safe on the road and trails, on our outings, until we meet again. Love you, little brother.
Holy cat box. There's a lot of you. So thank you. If I didn't get to hug you yet, thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. Today we gather to celebrate the life of David McCarthy, a man whose presence filled every room, whose laughter echoed down every hallway, and whose kindness touched every heart. Dave was much more than just a husband. He was a friend. He was a neighbor. He was the heartbeat of our community and a spark in every gathering. He was a soul at every adventure. We all know that. Dave had a gift of humor that could light up even the darkest days. With a quick joke or a warm smile, he brought joy wherever he went. He loved the open road, especially on his motorcycle. She knows. Always searching for the best back roads in the next adventure. Weekends with Dave meant ATV, mud, laughter, and the kind of brotherhood that only he could inspire. To Dave, every friend was a brother from another mother, and every neighbor was welcomed with open arms and a sense of fun that outshone any welcome wagon. He was a builder and a fixer, someone who could turn a pile of parts into something beautiful, and who always seemed to know what you needed before you did. Whether he was clearing driveways after a snowstorm, lending a hand without hesitation, or hunting down the best deal in town, Dave was always there, generous, capable, and ready to help. Dave's friends cherished his loyalty and his humor. He made life lighter, more fun, and more meaningful to everyone around him. And while he was easygoing, he never missed a detail. So if your measurements were off, even by a hair, we'd flash that grin and he would say, "Are you sure that's right?" So as some of you saw downstairs, the bracelets were made that say WWDD. What would Dave do was his motto. And of course, who could ever forget Dave's legendary sense of mischief? Some of you remember this one. One story that will live on is the time he orchestrated the Iris caper. See, Iris was a mannequin that usually resided in the bobber window. Mysteriously, found herself relocated one night thanks to Dave's handiwork. She was seated at the neighbor's pontoon just before the family reunion. When the guests arrived, there was Iris proudly sitting in her coconut bikini top and a grass skirt, silently waiting for her ride on the lake. She was an unexpected attendee that no one will ever forget. That was Dave, always finding a way to bring a smile, a laugh, and a bit of surprise to every occasion. To us, Dave was the mayor of Reflection Road and Lake Alamagnet. He is a neighbor, a brother, a son, a friend, and to me, a beloved husband. He was larger than life. He made each of us feel seen, valued, and loved. And even now, I half expect him walking through that door saying, "Who's hosting happy hour?" Sorry, we did that last night. Though he's no longer here, longer with us in body, Dave's spirit lives on in the laughter we share, the stories we tell, and the love we carry forward. Let us honor him by living the same generosity, humor, and heart that he showed us every single day. Rest easy, Dave. You will be missed, but never forgotten. And so I have one personal request for all of you. what Dave created within each of us, the spirit, the love for life, the sense of fun and warmth is why we're all here today. Please continue to carry that spirit going forward. Check on each other. Send a message. Call them up. Keep sharing those memories, laughter that Dave brought into our lives. By doing so, we will make our corner of the world a little better, a little kinder place to live. Thank you for coming.
Sometimes I swear I smell your cigarette in the backseat of my car. What I wouldn't give for one more hit behind the Jacksonville wall. Tonight I broke when I thought of a joke that only you would get. I can't believe you're gone, yeah, there's some things I just don't get. Yeah, I miss you, man, when I hear that band in the bar on 5th and Main. Yeah, we tore it up, but I don't go there much anymore, it just ain't the same. I'll never understand, I guess the big man had a whole other set of plans. I'll keep carrying on your vibes, your songs the best I can. But I miss you, man. For a while it was tough, I used to beat myself up for not saying more while you were here. But there ain't no doubt we can cover some ground over a couple of rounds of beer. Yeah. I reminisce about you, I tell my kids about you. Still got that picture of us down in the Keys. So many yesterdays, never gonna fade away, raising one up for you and me. I still miss you, man, when I hear that band in the bar on 5th and Main. Yeah, we tore it up, but I don't go there much anymore, it just ain't the same. I'll never understand, I guess the big man had a whole other set of plans. I'll keep carrying on your vibes and your song the best I can. But I miss you, man. I still miss you, man, when I hear that band in the bar on 5th and Main. Yeah, we tore it up, but I don't go there much anymore, it just ain't the same. I'll never understand, guess the big man had a whole other set of plans. I'll keep carrying on your vibe and your songs the best I can. But I miss you, man.
Well, welcome again. My name's Christy Kerr. My husband Jeff and I are the pastors here at Homestead Community Church, and we're so honored to be able to host this day to celebrate Dave. And Pam, I want you to look around for a second, because on the days that get hard, I want you to remember how many people are in this room. I want you to remember how many people love you and care about you and are supporting you. And so we're all here for you. And we're so honored to be able to be with you on this day. Well, I never got a chance to meet Dave in person. Pam and I got to know each other because we're neighbors, and she works right over here. And we worked together on some projects for the community, but I actually never had the chance to get to know Dave. But when the accident happened and I heard he was in the hospital, I went to visit just to let Pam know that her community was around her and loved her. And then I started asking questions about Dave, and from his friends and family, and Pat and Pam, they started telling me stories, and I started hearing the stories about Dave that I guess all of you probably have at least one or two of them. how as soon as the moving truck would pull into the neighborhood and a new family would start unloading, that he was immediately right there to greet them and welcome them. And Pam kept saying he was the welcome wagon. He just was always the welcome wagon. And he always wanted to do whatever he could to help others. And then I heard story after story about how he was always looking out for other people and helping them with whatever need arose. And I also kind of got the impression he had a little bit of a feisty streak, which I can appreciate and I love. And he loved to have fun and cause a little bit of a ruckus. And I know some of you have some of those stories too today. And the more I heard about Dave, the sadder I became that I never met him, because Dave sounds like my kind of people. Because Dave didn't just jump in to help people because he was bored and needed more things to do. Dave showed up for people because Dave valued people. He really saw them. He really understood that it might be hard for a new family to move into a neighborhood, and so his immediate instinct was to jump in and immediately make sure that they felt welcomed and supported on a hard day. And that is really a gift, because so many people go through life interacting with people every single day, but they never actually really see people. They might be around people, but they don't actually see them. And because they don't really see people, sometimes they don't really value people. And valuing people goes beyond just being in the presence of other people in your life, but instead it means really seeing them as important and significant and worth of value and time and respect. And this just came so naturally to Dave. Now, I know that Dave didn't consider himself a typically religious person, but the crazy thing is that this conviction that Dave possessed, that really saw and valued people, is actually the center of what Jesus talked about as being pure and true religion. In the book of Matthew, the religious people were trying to trap Jesus by questioning him on all of the specifics of the Old Testament law and what level of rules people had to follow in order to be followers of God. And they're asking him all these questions to try and discredit him and trap him in his answer. And so then finally they come to him and say, "Okay, Jesus, what would you say is the greatest commandment?" And he responded to them by saying this: "You must love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul and all your mind. But the second is equally important. Love your neighbor as yourself." The entire law and all the demands of the prophets are based on those two commandments. Jesus was able to boil it down into two simple things. You see, while the religious leaders of the day were trying to prove that the most religious people were the ones who followed all the traditional practices of faith, Jesus turned the tables and declared that the true way to demonstrate that you have faith in God is by simply loving God and loving people. And the same thing is true for us today. Whatever idea people might have about what makes someone religious and whatever expectations might come with that, it's important that we actually keep coming back to this center idea of what Jesus declared truly makes someone a follower of God, that they love God and they love people. You see, Jesus puts such importance on loving people because he too really sees people. He too really values people. While we might see somebody who's just irritating us at the coffee shop, he sees everything that's happened to that person that day. He knows all the things behind their story. And so instead of just embracing them, he sees them in a deeper way and understands what they've been going through. While we might see someone who keeps falling back into addictions or bad habits, God sees somebody who might have some pain and some hurt that's caused some brokenness, and he sees that person is deserving compassion and deserving help to get them through the other side. And we might see somebody that we absolutely disagree with on every possible thing, but he sees someone equally worthy of dignity and respect. And Jesus made sure that in the face of all kinds of religious people who had a whole lot of ideas as to what true religion would look like, he emphasized that the heart of the message of Jesus is to love God and love people. The Bible highlights this over and over and over again. And one of my favorite Bible verses is found in the book of James, James 1:27. It says, "Pure and genuine religion in the sight of God the Father means caring for orphans and widows in their distress and refusing to let the world corrupt you." The purest form of religion is not traditions or reciting certain creeds or beliefs, but in fact, religion in its purest form is when we care for the most vulnerable, the most distressed, refusing to let the world corrupt us into viewing people as a means to an end, and instead seeing people the way that God sees them, full of value and worth. So maybe today, as we remember the way that Dave lived his life so well by seeing people, we could also embrace the challenge that Pam gave us today to also live our lives in a way that really sees other people, to value others, to find ways to love your neighbor just as you love yourself. Maybe you could ask yourself today, what could I do today to love my neighbor? And I don't want you to just think about it. I want you to figure out how you can actually do it. I love that Dave didn't just think about how can I help people, but he actually got up and he went and he did it. And so my challenge to you today is, what could you do today to love your neighbor in a way that validates their humanity and tangibly shows them love and care and service and support, and mostly just by treating them with dignity and respect? And maybe in addition to that, today, maybe you could open your heart up to the idea of not just loving people, but what would it look like for you to also love God with your heart and your mind and your soul and your strength? And I get that some people don't want anything to do with religion because the only religion they've ever encountered was like those Pharisees who were trying to trap Jesus with all of these different laws and rules and judgment and expectations and behavior that seems impossible for anyone to endure. But what if today you could reimagine what true religion is through the eyes of Jesus? I don't know about you, but when I encounter the Jesus that really sees people, values people, shows up in their lives full of compassion and grace and mercy, I actually find that God pretty easy to love. 1 John 4:19 tells us that we love God because he first loved us. That when we actually fully understand and experience the love that God has for people, including the love he has for each of us individually, that our response is of one that begins to grow in our love for God as well. So my challenge for you today is twofold. And if faith is not something that's a part of your life, would you maybe open your heart up today to the idea of this God, of this Jesus, who loved us first and knows everything about us and yet still chooses to love us more than anything? And then could you take Jesus' command not only to love God, but to love your neighbor as you love yourself, as a way of living your life as someone who sees and values people? Because that is how Dave lived his life. And look at the impact it had. Look at the people in this room who felt valued and loved and supported because Dave took that seriously, to not just experience people, but to really see people, to truly care for them, truly making sure they knew someone was in their corner. Because at the end of the day, loving God and loving people is really the heart of it all. Let's bow our heads and pray. Jesus, I thank you so much for your example to us. That, Lord, even when you came and walked on this earth, you encountered all kinds of people who were trying to define what religion looked like, and yet you made it so simple. Love God, love people. And today, Lord, as we celebrate the life of Dave, thank you for an example of someone that just demonstrated that so beautifully in his life. Lord, his heart for others, the way that he cared for them. Lord, I pray that you would help each of us to take that mission on our own, to carry it on. And Lord, I pray today that if someone in this room has never experienced the love of God, and maybe it's because at the hands of people who professed to follow God, they never actually experienced love from them, I pray today they would see a different story. I pray that today, Lord, they would know that you love them no matter what, that you see them, that you care about them, that you're with them, that you value them. On their best day and on their worst day, nobody loves them more than you. And so we thank you, Jesus, for the life Dave lived. I pray for comfort and for peace in this room, for everyone whose hearts are hurting today. I thank you that you have promised to come and bring comfort and wholeness to our hearts. There's nobody like you, Jesus. In Jesus' name we pray all these things. Amen.
I know your life on earth is troubled. Only you could know the pain. You weren't afraid to face the devil. You were no stranger to the rain. So glorious high on that mountain, Son, your work on earth is done. Go to heaven and shout love for the Father and the Son. Oh, how we cried the day left us. We gathered around your grave to grieve. Wish I could see the angels' faces when they hear your sweet voice sing. Chorus high on that mountain, Son, your work on earth is done. Go to heaven and shout love for the Father and the Son. So chorus high on that mountain, Son, your work on earth is done. Go to heaven and shout love for the Father and the Son. Go to heaven and shout love for the Father and the Son.
So once again, we want to thank you for coming. Immediately following the service, we're going to have a lunch downstairs. So after Pam and the family are dismissed, you can consider yourself dismissed and head downstairs. Food will be available down in the lobby, and then you can eat downstairs, or you can head out to the lot next door. We've got some tables out there, or we're also going to turn this room, and there'll be seating available up here once you get your food. So feel free to come back upstairs once you get your food. And then Pam wanted me to let you know that there will be a gathering at Wild Bill's, right? After this, after lunch, so to reminisce about Dave. So once again, thank you for being here. God bless you.